The Usual Rules is a young adult novel by Joyce Maynard, first published in 2004. It was among the earliest works of fiction to weave the events of September 11, 2001, into its narrative. The story follows Wendy, a 13-year-old girl living in Brooklyn with her mother and stepfather, Josh. One morning, her mother suggests she spend time in California with her biological father, a man who has played little role in her life. Irritated, Wendy leaves for school, only to discover that tragedy has struck. Her teacher announces that planes have crashed into the World Trade Center. Wendy's mother works in one of the towers, and panic sets in. As parents arrive to take their children home, Wendy is eventually picked up by Josh and her little brother Louie, but her mother is not with them. Days pass without news, and the family comes to accept the devastating truth that she has died in the attack. Grief overwhelms them. Then Wendy's biological father suddenly appears, offering to bring her back with him to California. Burdened with raising Louie alone, Josh reluctantly agrees. In her new small-town California setting, Wendy treats the move as a chance to redefine herself. She stops being the conscientious student she was in Brooklyn and instead skips school to read books in the local bookstore. There she forms connections with Violet, a young single mother, and Alan, the store's owner, who recommends books and later introduces her to his autistic son. Her father, a carpenter, also begins weaving her into his own life, introducing her to his girlfriend, Carolyn, who lives on a cactus farm, and taking her to San Francisco to meet her wealthy grandmother. While there, Wendy slips out of her hotel late at night and encounters Todd, a runaway skateboarder searching for his brother. She lets him clean up in her room and gives him her father's address, in case their paths cross again. Not long after, her grandmother dies, and though her father returns to San Francisco for the funeral, Wendy stays behind, spending more time with Carolyn, Violet, and Alan. Her father eventually comes back with an unexpected guest, Todd. Wendy and Todd share a brief romance before he heads to Colorado to continue his search. Wendy's father and Carolyn confront her about skipping school, though they admit it may be her way of coping with grief. Meanwhile, Josh writes to say Louie is struggling badly without their mother. Wendy also learns that Josh has been seeing her mother's close friend, Kate. The relationship ends, however, and Kate moves to Hawaii, but not before visiting Wendy in California to apologize. Later, Todd contacts Wendy to say he has found his brother in Colorado, and Violet decides to place her baby for adoption, a choice that deeply unsettles Wendy and Carolyn, who had grown attached to the child. For Wendy's birthday, her father takes her to San Francisco and Yosemite, where he suggests she finish the school year in California before choosing where to live. Distressed by the weight of this decision, Wendy nonetheless receives a birthday package from Josh, containing a gift her mother had bought before she died. She hesitates to open it. By the end of the school year, Wendy chooses to return to New York to live with Josh and Louie. When she finally unwraps her mother's present, she finds it is a plane ticket to visit her father in California. Critics have praised The Usual Rules for its clear, accessible prose and convincing teenage perspective. Maynard's unconventional decision to forgo quotation marks in dialogue has divided readers, with some finding it distracting. A generation of young readers, too young to remember September 11 directly, encounters the tragedy here through an intimate, personal lens. Still, the terrorist attacks are not the novel's main concern. They provide the setting for a universal coming-of-age tale about grief, resilience, and learning to see others with compassion. Some critics have questioned whether the novel exploits a national tragedy, but the prevailing view is that Maynard's storytelling is heartfelt, thoughtful, and moving. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.